The studio lights of the View buzz with anticipation as Brad Pitt strides onto the set, his signature charm on full display amid the applause from the audience. Joy Behar, ever the sharp-tongued host, greets him with a mix of admiration and her trademark wit, setting the stage for what promises to be a lively discussion. The other co-hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Hostin, Sarah Haynes, and Alyssa Farah Griffin, exchange excited glances, knowing Pitt's recent projects and personal life make for juicy topics. As the segment kicks off, Behar dives right in, complimenting Pitt on his latest film role where he portrays a complex anti-hero grappling with moral dilemmas, drawing parallels to his own storied career. Pitt smiles graciously, sharing anecdotes from the set about intense action sequences that pushed him physically and emotionally, emphasizing how the character forced him to confront vulnerability in ways reminiscent of his real-life challenges. The conversation flows smoothly at first, with Whoopi praising his dedication to craft, but Behar steers toward more personal territory, inquiring about his enduring appeal in Hollywood after decades in the spotlight. Pitt responds thoughtfully, crediting his collaborators and fans, but a subtle tension emerges when Behar jokes about his high-profile relationships, hinting at the tabloid frenzy that often surrounds him. The audience laughs, but Pitt's expression tightens slightly, signaling the start of underlying friction. As the talk progresses, Sunny Hostin chimes in with questions about the film's social commentary on power dynamics, which Pitt elaborates on with passion, highlighting themes of redemption and accountability that resonate deeply in today's cancel culture climate. Behar, however, interjects with a quip about how actors like Pitt often play the victim in their narratives. Tension simmers beneath the surface as Joy Behar leans forward, her eyes sparkling with that familiar mix of humor and challenge, directing a question at Brad Pitt about his views on Hollywood's evolving landscape regarding accountability for past behaviors. Pitt, promoting not just his film but a narrative of personal growth, responds by acknowledging industry reckonings while emphasizing individual responsibility over blanket judgments. The studio erupts in murmurs as Behar counters sharply, suggesting that stars like him benefit from a double standard, citing unnamed scandals that have rocked Tinseltown. Pitt's jaw sets, and he retorts that such generalizations overlook the nuances of personal redemption arcs, drawing from his own experiences without delving into specifics. Whoopi Goldberg tries to mediate, praising Pitt's philanthropy work as evidence of positive change, but Behar waves it off, insisting on digging deeper into what she calls the elephant in the room, the public's lingering doubts about celebrity sincerity. The argument escalates when Pitt challenges Behar's perspective, arguing that media hosts like her perpetuate divisive narratives for ratings, a bold statement that silences the panel momentarily. Sarah Haynes gasps audibly, while Sunny Hostin nods in partial agreement, adding layers to the debate on media ethics. Behar, undeterred, fires back with a passionate defense of journalistic probing, claiming it's her duty to hold power to account, even if it ruffles feathers. Pitt, his voice rising slightly, counters that true accountability starts with empathy, not accusation, referencing how his characters often embody flawed yet redeemable figures. The audience shifts uncomfortably as the exchange turns personal, with Behar alluding to Pitt's family. The atmosphere in the studio thickens as Brad Pitt and Joy Behar lock eyes, the former's calm demeanor cracking under the latter's relentless line of questioning about the authenticity of celebrity activism. Pitt elaborates on his environmental initiatives, sharing details of sustainable practices in his production company, but Behar interrupts, questioning whether it's genuine commitment or mere PR spin, a charge that strikes a nerve. He responds with visible irritation, citing years of hands-on involvement and partnerships with real experts, dismissing the cynicism as unhelpful in an era needing collective action. Whoopi supports Pitt, recounting her own activism experiences, but Behar persists, drawing parallels to other stars who've faced backlash for perceived hypocrisy, which Pitt deems unfair without evidence. The argument intensifies when Behar references broader Hollywood issues like diversity quotas, suggesting Pitt's projects could do more, leading him to defend his casting choices as merit-based yet inclusive. Sunny Hostin jumps in, praising progress but agreeing with Behar on the need for more representation, creating a panel divide that amplifies the tension. Pitt, feeling cornered, raises his voice slightly, arguing that art should transcend mandates, sparking applause from some audience members who appreciate his stance. Sarah Haynes tries to bridge the gap by asking about future collaborations, but Behar circles back, accusing Pitt of defensiveness that undermines his message. He counters by flipping the script, questioning if Behar's show truly amplifies marginalized voices or sensationalizes drama, a pointed critique that elicits gasps. The live broadcast captures every nuance, the flushed faces, the rapid gestures, as the clash veers into meta-territory about the role of talk shows in culture. Alyssa Farah Griffin notes the irony of debating authenticity on live TV, adding a humorous yet insightful layer. Midway through the segment, the verbal sparring reaches a fever pitch as Joy Behar challenges Brad Pitt on his portrayal of masculinity in modern cinema, suggesting his characters often romanticize flawed men in ways that excuse real-world behaviors. Pitt pushes back vehemently, explaining that storytelling requires empathy for anti-heroes to explore societal issues, not endorsement, and cites critical acclaim for his nuanced performances. The co-hosts weigh invariably, Whoopi affirming the power of complex narratives, while Sunny Hostin questions if such portrayals contribute to cultural blind spots. Behar, unrelenting, brings up generational shifts in accountability, implying Pitt's era lagged in addressing toxicity, which he refutes by highlighting his advocacy for mental health and equality. The audience buzzes with reactions, some cheering Pitt's eloquence, others nodding at Behar's boldness. Sarah Haynes attempts redirection to fan interactions, but the momentum carries forward as Pitt accuses the panel of oversimplifying art's role, leading to a tense silence broken by Behar's retort that simplification is necessary for public discourse. Alyssa Farah Griffin adds perspective on media's influence on youth, complicating the debate further. Pitt, drawing from personal evolution, shares a vulnerable moment about learning from mistakes, but Behar probes if that's sufficient for past impacts, escalating the personal stakes. The exchange underscores broader cultural wars, with Pitt defending artistic freedom against moral policing. As tempers flare, Whoopi calls for balance, but the damage lingers in sharpened tones and averted eyes. Behar softens briefly, acknowledging Pitt's contributions, yet the undercurrent of disagreement persists. This paragraph narrates the deepening rift, focusing on artistic integrity versus social responsibility, with vivid details of emotional undercurrents and panel dynamics. Approximately 2480 characters. As the clock ticks toward commercial break, the clash between Brad Pitt and Joy Behar crescendos with a direct confrontation over privacy invasion in celebrity culture. Behar justifies her probing as part of the job, arguing fans deserve transparency from idols, while Pitt passionately advocates for boundaries, detailing how relentless scrutiny affects mental health and creativity. Sunny Hostin empathizes, sharing her own experiences, but Behar maintains that power imbalances demand accountability. Pitt counters with examples of how such tactics breed distrust, referencing his film's themes of isolation under fame. The audience leans in, captivated by the raw honesty, as Sarah Haynes suggests mutual respect could bridge divides. Alyssa Farah Griffin questions the ethics of live TV confrontations, meta-commenting on the moment itself. Behar, feeling the heat, defends her style as authentic journalism, but Pitt labels it entertainment disguised as inquiry, sparking widespread murmurs. Whoopi intervenes decisively, praising both for sparking dialogue, yet the tension remains palpable. Pitt raps by emphasizing resilience forged in adversity, tying back to his role's redemptive arc. Behar nods reluctantly, but her final quip about tough love hints at unresolved friction. The paragraph captures this climactic exchange, blending personal defenses with cultural critiques, heightening the drama toward potential resolution. Approximately 2,120 characters.